Hey, welcome back to MVP Hot Wheels. It's Diesel Mac, and I know it's been a while. Started my new job, been engrossed in that. I've been working on the truck. I got the back half of the 4-inch lift on the 97 F350, the OBS, and I've been cutting up some wood, so just kind of been crazy around here. So not as much time for videos and the website as I'd like, but hopefully I'll be able to get into a better routine and have some more time for that, or make time for it. I do have 5 packages in, some really awesome stuff. My package from Jeff Drew came in, so that's sitting on the floor because it's fairly sizable, and I'll open it up and start, putting everything up on the table here. So the first one, I believe this is maybe a deal or no deal setup on this one. I can't remember. This one's been sitting here for just a little while. I don't even know which way to kind of get into this. I think that's it. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I think maybe there. We'll just keep cutting into it till we find it. Yeah, close enough. There is one side open. Package material. All right, I think that's all we got in here. Make sure that doesn't have any cards in it. All right. Here is, I don't think I have this in the package, which is kind of why I grabbed it, just for the package side of the Hot Wheels website, MVP Hot Wheels there. So let's pull this out. This is pretty cool 31 doozy, international release only. It's got a different name than what the US, so you can see that Duesenberg 1931. Kind of got my lights set up a little too close again. Seems to happen after I haven't done a video for a while. Let's kind of back those up just a little bit. Gotta move the big box of Jeff Drew stuff. There we go, that should help some. There we go. So these only come on the short card that I've ever seen. And you see here 3 or 4. It's kind of a classics series that you can get. So I'm going to try to get all of this type of stuff onto the website so that you can see it. And if you're into collecting this type of stuff, it'll be available there for you to check off the list if you subscribe. All right, next one is from Chuck. I've been on a lot of Chuck's auctions, it seems like, lately. But he has lots of cool stuff, so make sure you check out the Toy Car Headquarters on Facebook. Or don't, because it helped me get better deals. Just kidding. But he has some pretty awesome stuff. We got more stickers. He's always sending stickers with his stuff. There's always candy and whatnot. So there's the Chuckster candy. All right. Packing is phenomenal always. Got a little loose one here. All right. Let's see. We'll check out the loose one first. And this is Camaro Z28. Then, like, most of his stuff's in really good shape. Maybe a little dusty at this point. So I think that is in better shape than the one that I had. So that would be an upgrade. And some of these, the reason there's a bar on the base is they spelled Camaro wrong when it initially came out. So it said C-A-M-R-O, Camaro. And so they had to cover that up and put the real name, put the right name, the correct name on the base. So, oops, what was Mattel thinking on that one? That could be a good one. Although I just kind of spoiled it right there, I guess. But either way. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. I said work is going well. I'm enjoying it. It's only 5 minutes from my house, so that is a huge plus. So enjoy the proximity of the location there. All right. Here is, most of these I got just mostly for the packaging. I mean, getting these old packages in decent shape that you can, discern what they are when I put them on the website. They're not all tore up. It's pretty tough. and he has lots of cars like this. So here is the paddy wagon, and I don't need to be extremely perfect, just so that you understand or you can see what packaging it came on. So this one, the Classy Customs for the paddy wagon with a patch card on it. So that will be a package variation. I'm pretty sure they made that in a couple different cards, if I remember right. These, I don't get too many red lines. I've been kind of sticking to the enamel stuff. So these are the Rolls Royce, and there's two variations here. So let me get the other one out. They're interior variations, both of them in really good shape. So here is the white interior. That's pretty cool because back in the late 60s, early 70s, they had time to paint the turn signal markers on this one and tail lights and stuff that you didn't get to see a whole lot of in the 80s stuff. So got a couple scattered nickies there, but that's all right. You can definitely discern what this is. And on the base here, got the Hong Kong base, of course, but you can see this Rolls Royce Silver Shadow. Then you have this with the dark interior, so Hong Kong on that. So both in really good shape, and I'll get both those variations on there. Hopefully, maybe this weekend. We'll see how the weather turns out. It's trying to do a little rain now, which is kind of why I'm in here doing the video, because I think it's going to rain on me, and I'd like to get the truck done, but I'm not going to do it in the rain. So I don't have a covered parking space or garage big enough to put the big old truck in, especially after I get the 4-inch lift on it. So it has to be done outside in the rocks, the gravel. So here is, this one was for the package as well, Real Riders package. Got the lightning gold. Got a little tape on there, but that's all right. The package is good enough that you can see for the variation of it. It's kind of, this is like the reverse. So this one with the Real Riders is actually easier to get than the Blackwall version of this. The Blackwall version came in, I think, either a 4 or 5 car display set, like a multi-pack, gift pack type deal. And that one is tougher, but so if you want to, it's pretty easy to get, I'd say. That, not a tough one, 15, 20 bucks loose, so not too bad. Lightning gold there. Here is another great one, especially on an unpunched card. And I didn't have this particular variation at all, so I have to figure out if I'm going to take pictures of the package and then rip it or leave it. I've been trying to catch one, but all the other ones, Chuck's had a bunch of these, and they've all had the AC tampo on the back instead of this blue one. It's kind of hard to see in there what that color is, but I think that says like Delco or something like that. I can't, it's kind of hard for me to tell, but I have to go back and look at my notes. But I don't have this variation of it. So awesome to find it in an awesome, really nice package. I mean, really can't get too much better than that. Nice clear bubble. I mean, you got a little curling down here, but that's nothing. So really awesome piece. This is an upgrade to the one that I have. So this is a nice Super Chrome's Super Van, obviously with the red lines. This one with the black plastic base and tinted windows. So there's also some variations. I haven't tracked them all down to see, but this turn signal is a variation on some of these. So some of them have the turn signals and some don't. At the ones that don't have the turn signal, also in the back, you'll see like a partition wall back there behind the seats too. Not sure what that was about. Maybe using it on a different type of casting or something, and they combined them. But so, and of course they use this base on a couple different vehicles as well. So it's a shared base for that cost savings and whatnot. But this is in phenomenal condition. Again, much better than the condition of the one I got, so I'll be trading that one out and getting better pictures of the this example on the website. This is absolutely crazy. There's a bunch of these, unfortunately, because they're kind of expensive. So let's see here. You have the P911 or the Porsche 911. Red lines, you got cappers up front, regulars on the back. I say regular for me. If you're a red line guy, those are regular. You got the Porsche Carrera name on the base. You've got Porsche on the back. So those are some types of differences, plus the wheel types that you have. So there's a bunch of different variations you can get with this. And the unfortunate part is they're all pretty tough. So this is a super clean example of it. So I'll be getting that up on the website as well. Let's see. Here's another super tough one. Obviously, you can see the Mexico card there. Bless me, goodness. Just went and picked up hay, so I got a bunch of hay kind of all over me and dust from being inside the barn of where I got the hay from. But check this out. Mexico show hoss. That is super sweet. So another Mexico variation added to the horde. Here you got the base, just to give you an idea what the base looks like. So you can see it's got that France base, which a lot of Mexico pieces, Mexico really didn't care which base you had in Malaysia, Hong Kong, France, and then sometimes they made their own. But this is a Mexico only piece here. So super cool. And it came out of the package, it kind of slipped out of the bottom there. No worries. All right, next bag at our box. This one came from a friend. He was looking out for me, so extremely, I really appreciate that. Let's see here. One of my favorite castings is the DeLorean, and he just happened to find an extra one on the pegs and asked me if I wanted it, and of course I want it. Actually, he only asked me if I didn't have it, because if I didn't have it, obviously I'm going to want it. But so he sent this over to me, so I really appreciate that. I know we've got some more trading to probably do, so I'm gonna hook him up in the trade somehow. We'll figure it out and do a little payback. But I appreciate it, Kearney. Awesome piece, and that will go. I'll probably get that up on the website, and then so I can open it hopefully for tomorrow and put it with the rest of the DeLoreans I have. All right, in this box is another controversial piece that I've had people tell me is fake, even people that write some of the guidebooks. Unfortunately, you'd think they'd have an open mind about some stuff, but I don't know. Didn't seem to be the case. In fact, I had a conversation with one of them last night about another piece, and they don't believe that it's real also. So it just kind of is what it is, unfortunately. But I have a very open mind. We're going to check out this piece that's in here and check its validity, because I know it can be fake. We'll do our best to validate whether it's fake or not, hopefully without destroying the vehicle. So I got some pretty awesome pieces in here. Here is a metal base letter getter in pretty good shape. And I think this was just super cheap, so I'm bidding on it. These are a little bit tougher to get. Needs a little cleanup on the side there. I wonder if I can get that clean with some hot water and maybe a little bit of soapy. The tough one that I'm still looking for is the red line. That only came in a 6-pack, so they're pretty scarce. Here is a Fiero 2M4. This was a variation that I didn't have. Normally you'll have the hot ones on the bottom of here. This particular one does not have that, so this was a variation I didn't have. So I think I've got all of the US Fiero variations from the 80s now. Try to pull out the one last. This was kind of interesting. This has no tampos on it. I think it's from the collector, like the collector.com time period. I got one up in the case so I could compare. Oh, you know what? I think they just took off the stuff. You can see a little ribby on the windshield there and on the back. So nope, no variation on this one. And you can kind of see some of the tampo inside the cowl there. You know, so you can pick that little bit of orange in there. It's kind of tough to see there, but it's easier to see off camera. And of course, you can see the scuffing on the window, both windows from where they tried to get off there. Well, they did a pretty good job on the side. They left both of the turn signals. I'll pull this, pull the other one out maybe at the end of this video, and we'll compare it and see if there's something else that I can see on it. All right, Solaire CX4, one of the nicer fantasy cars that Mattel put out, although it is based off of like an older like Porsche, race Porsche, like LM type setup, I guess. But there's a bunch of different base variations on this one, so you can get some without that name on there. You can get the one with the Hot Wheels logo, I think, with that tampo. I'd have to go back and look, but there's a couple different ones. And then the amount of spray that you get inside the engine bay here can be different. So this one's pretty much just sprayed through here, but sometimes you can get a full spray or more of a, I guess, a partial spray on those two. So something to look at if you're a Solaire collector. Here's another one. Like this one's another one. This one, no paint. So just the Zamak with the tampo on it. And there's base variations on this one as well. So you can see this one has the name with the bar Malaysia. Some of these will not have the name. And different size of the text for the Malaysia. So I think this is one I didn't have, which is probably why I ended up bidding on it. Either that or it was cheap. But I think I didn't have that one, so that's a variation to add to the website. We got the Tricar X8. Oh, been in captivity for a while, and the fin's coming down. Unfortunately, we'll get to see if I can get that straightened out, maybe with a rubber band or something. Needs a little clean up anyway. So again, I think that was just a cheap one, and I didn't know which variations I had. Plus, there's some different ones that are kind of out there, so just to see if it was something that I haven't come across yet. But I didn't look on my website as I was buying some of these. All right. Oh, here's another one. Oh no. Another captivity wing. We'll have to straighten that back out too. So here's another example of it. And you see this one's, you know, they kind of have the same bases on this one. Yeah. So there's some Hong Kong ones and stuff like that. So just to see if there was something different out there. I don't always like to ask questions on everything, because I feel like I'm become some of a nuisance when I'm like, hey, what's on the base? What about this? Can you show me this again? What about this part, right? Like sometimes I feel like I'm hindering the auction, so I don't always ask. But here's a very clean example of the XJS, obviously the Jaguar. In the enamel gray. A lot of the enamel grays seem to be kind of higher or more expensive cars, I guess more rare cars. Like the Corvette that I just got in, right? So that one's enamel gray, so that's the same gray. The Camaro, same deal. This one, not so much. I don't think they made a silver one. I'm pretty sure they didn't make a silver one, but this one's a little bit more common than that, but it is in really good shape. And sometimes, or most, I won't say most time, but a lot of times, this one is not in that shape. All right, I think that was through one. I'm gonna try to reveal the controversial one last, just so I can spend some more time on it. We haven't even got to Jeff Juice Box yet, so we got lots of awesome stuff left to do. There's a bunch of variations on the Firebird here, mostly with the coloration inside the tampo and the painted on lights. So sometimes these are more darker, sometimes there's more orange. You see some orange inside there. So I just get a few of these just to kind of compare them to the ones that I have, and then they'll display nicely when you have a bunch of different ones like that. So if you're a Firebird fan, I'm sure you already know about that. All right, this crack up. I think it was just somewhat cheaper. There is a variation on this particular crack up. So see how this top piece here, of course it comes around, but there's another one where this is more indented. That's what I mean on the website. When I say indented, you'll see it kind of concave into the cab more, or into the interior area. This one is not so much. So this is the non-concave or non-dented one. But there's variations on that. And then I think there's a Malaysia, or I think a Malaysia, or just a silver. This is more of that enamel gray kind of color again. So I think there's a silver one as well that I'm missing. That one's pretty tough, seems to be. Check out this color racer. Couldn't pass this up. I don't do a whole lot of color racers, but when they're outside the norm, I feel like it'd be kind of cool. So I don't know if it's super hard to get, but this one I haven't seen come up a whole lot. So went ahead and snagged that 57 T-Bird. Doesn't have the porthole. I don't know if any of the color racers have the porthole. That'd be something to kind of look into. All right, we got the 32 Delivery. This is a special edition or limited edition, 1 of 20,000. So I'll be putting all of these on. I got a whole box over there of all of these 100% Hot Wheels or metal collection, however you want to call them. Goodness, I don't know why I couldn't think of anything. All right, let's keep the controversial one. All right, like I said, lots of awesome stuff. This just looks cool, even though it's a little newer, needs a little polishing on the roof there. But black 5-spokes with Goodrich, so this looks, you know, super mean. I even got some black grill paint in there, so that just looks super sick. And so I went ahead and snagged that. Cadillac Seville, super clean. So nothing crazy. Yeah, this one here. This one's usually got some chippies on the wing and up here and on the front. This one's really not that bad. It's got a little chippy there on the front, but this is in much better shape than the one I believe I have. So that was an upgrade. All right, what else is here? Let's pull these down. Oh, I forgot. They said money. They sent some candy too. They even put it in their own bag. So got a little candy love from Lori, and here is, they even protected it a little bit more of the controversial piece there. Here's another T-Bird. This one you don't see a lot of either. So red T-Bird. Pretty decent condition, little roof rub. Yeah. There, a couple points missing, but it's in good shape. I'm a huge Superbird fan, and this came up, and so I just figured I'd get an extra. I don't know why, but love the Superbirds, love the Roadrunners. Bubble Gunner, an older casting, late 70s, early 80s, pretty decent shape. But nothing really crazy about that one. This is the Hong Kong variation. I'm not sure if there's a Malaysia base on that or not. I have to go back and look. All right. Another PC5 or Pro Circuit 5-spoke Camaro. It's still in the package. I think mine is opened, so I went ahead and grabbed one in the baggie so that you know where this comes from. Another 34 Ford, 1 of 20,000 from the special delivery part of the series. Pretty cool. These are fairly cheap for some real riders. Good paint. You know, I don't know. People kind of disregard these, I think, and you can get them for, you know, especially if you go to like flea markets and stuff, you can get them for like $5. So $5 for a decent, you know, real rider car, can't pass that up. I don't know why. Then you got, it's kind of a, like before the chase, but this is kind of like a chase. With this blue color here, the 49 Merc, there's a handful of different ones that came in just this metallic blue here, so that is one of them. And there's a bunch of variations on this particular Thunderbird Stalker. This one, it's gonna be kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can get it in there. So you got Morgan Shepherd, and I don't know if it's gonna pick up on here. Let's see if we can. So that one is spelled correctly. You see the Shepherd, and if you look at the name on the card, that's how it's spelled. But some were spelled with an A on the backside, so Phard. So that was a variation. You have variations with and without this GE Electric logo on the back. There's also some small and large Ford emblems on the front there. So lots of different variations for this. This particular one, and so this one I believe is the small Ford logo, but I'll get the other ones out and compare them, and maybe we'll do an extra video on that, show all those different variations. I'm missing a couple of them though, but they're just kind of hard to see all those different things on, you know, pictures that are on eBay and stuff. All right, so here's the car that is controversial. It is a Chevelle. I have done this video on this particular car before. I have one of these already, and I know somebody's already asked if they could have it, so maybe we could look at a trade if it's legit, but I certainly don't want to pass it on if it's not. And Lori and Joe Finsky said that they would you know, take into consideration if it was. All right, so here is, and this kind of has, this is very interesting because this has, I think, the newer kind of paint style, right? That's not the gold from the first editions. I'm trying to think where I have these. So normally you would look, you try to look up in here and see the post, because the one from 2000 or 2001 has a plastic base, and this is clearly metal. Got a little something there, frizz. This looks like the that 2000. So 2000 with a metal base, that would be kind of cool. So a completely different type of variation on that. But maybe it's the other. Wow, it's kind of hard to say. I think I thought it was darker, the newer one with the plastic base, but I don't have an extra light to kind of shine in there. But when I do the video to confirm this, what you would do is look in here, and sometimes there's some daylight enough that you could flash the light in and see that front post where this is. And this one, it almost looked like it was maybe worked on there. It does look like it's been played with, huh? That looks like it has been drilled. Something. I'm a little skeptical at the moment. What to do? Just look at that. I mean, I'm sure everybody else that's watching says that looks a little suspect, and I kind of agree. But they could have glued it. But why would you only drill that far on the top? That's kind of weird, right? Unless they put in a screw and then drilled the screw to get rid of the Phillips head or the hex head in there, the Allen head, to make it look more like a, that's what I think is happening here. I think this is a fake. But let me See if this will, yeah, they drilled that out pretty good. So they took away what looked to have been, and you can see that there's space in there, and that wouldn't normally be in there. So I think this is a fake. So I'll let them know. They said they would refund the money if it was a fake, but I'll reach out to them. So, but yeah, definitely, I almost want to think about what I could go grab to possibly unscrew this one. I don't think I have anything in here. Let's see here. I got a drawer here. Maybe I have one of those little screwdrivers or something. I can put enough pressure on it to release it. All right, we'll come back to this. Like I said, we'll do some other. I got a whole box of Jeff Drew stuff too, so we'll put that there, and we'll open up Jeff Drew's box. So Jeff Drew's box is pretty sizable. It's actually 2 boxes. So I'm sure he's happy that I have had this shipped. Although every time we would talk about shipping, he would put on something awesome, and then I'd get that, and then he, delay the shipping. But there is definitely some awesome pieces in here. Trying to cut the top off the second box here. It's kind of I'm not the best angle either. Alright, so I think I got most of this. Bear with me. I promise the weight is worth it. Oh, got one. There we go. Top is off. Got the top popped. And time to dig down into the awesomeness. Probably to zoom out. So let's zoom that back out just a little bit. There's our stuff there. All right. First one, obviously a I was gonna say Mexico piece, but yeah, Mexico piece. We got that piece up there. Check this out. And he tapes it ever so nicely to kind of keep the bubble from blowing out. I appreciate it. So here is the Mexico Supra. And now I think I have all of the Supra variations that are out there, so we'll add that on there. Here's a look at it. And when I rip this, which I will, I mean, it's already kind of blown out anyway, I'll show you guys a better view of the base, so you can see all the different variations. But this one's a tough one to discern, just because most of it is just the thicker paint part of it. But coming on that card, kind of gives it the idea that it's the Mexico version. Another Mexico version is this up front. So finally got my hands on a Mexico up front. No skis, no holes in the window either. And got that white base. And here is that base. You can see it doesn't even have a country of origin. So there's another Mexico piece. This is one of the cars that was delaying the shipping because I just picked this up. And there's a couple different ones of these that are really tough. I talked to a Cobra specific guy that he only collects Cobras. He reached out to me when I got this one as well. And we're going to collaborate on making sure that all the variations of the Cobra, the legit variations, are on there. This one is a metal base. This is a black tinted base. So I think I have a black painted base or a metal flake black base for the 5-spoke. The 5-spoke makes it really tough also. But there's some different base variations, and this one appears to be a different one than the one I have, which was what I was thinking. So 2 different tough 5-spoke variations. Check this out. He had a couple of these starter guides from the 90s. So that's the time frame I started collecting. What we got here? We got Pop Out also. Man. So I'll be looking through. Ooh, we got a look at that F-150. So there's a prototype out there for. Oh, even the excavator has a black bucket and the shovel. So that's a. I mean, I guess these are all prototypes, right? Look, I mean, even the salt flat racer. So, any others? Man, that's. Oh yeah, I think they're all prototypes. Goodness, we're having fun now. So 59 Chevy Impala, the Corvette. Hey, I don't think it came with 5 spokes. It came with lace wheels. That's a funky color on the Way Too Fast, but pretty close. That might be a legit. Nah, well, I have to remember. Maybe. That didn't come with like that. It had some stripes on it. So there's another one. That's a little different color than the normal one. Can't tell. That looks pretty close to the one that was put out. Almost certain it didn't come out in that color. It's another potential prototype. Most of those look pretty legit. That one maybe a blimp, but that's cool. So there's some. This is where you find your prototype stuff. Look at that rigger motor and from the White Ice series. I don't think it looked like that. Silhouette. That's a little darker blue. 5 holes on the Baja Bug. That's not how that came. And I think all these are probably prototypes. Let's see what else we got. We're having fun here. That's pretty dark orange on there. You got red razors on the Unimog. Didn't come that way. Blue razors on this. I think we're yellow. Look at that. Where's my Street Rotor fans? There's a prototype right there. See, this is why you get this stuff. I mean, then you can tell where some of the prototypes, were used at, other than just, putting colors on there and tampos and checking for all that kind of stuff. These look fairly legit, except for the Hummer with 5 spokes. I don't think the Window 34 had 5 spokes on it, actually. Some funky colors on the Road Rocket. There's a prototype Jeep. I think I've seen this on show up on Facebook not too long ago. Got some more prototype stuff. So sweet. I'm glad I got this. That's awesome. So like I said, memorabilia, stuff like this, pamphlets have some awesome pictures of potential prototypes. All right, next layer. That was layer 1. Here is coming up layer 2. I got a couple of these 3 spokes. They're a little bit tougher. So I usually have a couple extra ambulances around. Just in case I want to do a city scene. I have all those different variations available and extras. So there's the China variation, right? Yep. And then another 3 spoke. These are like $5. I think he kind of sold these a little cheap. But if I don't say sold, then somebody else will definitely take them, and I'll use them for the displays down the road. All right, these are a little bit bigger. Kind of cool playset looking things. The Auto City stuff. So he had a few of them. You got 1 vehicle with it. Kind of a cab over, flatbed, ready. Could use that on the farm to go get our hay. But pretty cool little display setup. I would almost certainly believe that on the base of that's going to be a Corgi base. But we will find out one day when we pull that open. And I have 2 of them that I got from him. So here's the second one. Get the tape off. This one's pretty cool. You got a little car lift. Bring this up so you can see it. And that looks like the Ford Sierra. So that's another variation of that. But again, that'll probably have the Corgi. And that could come into play when if MVP takes off and we can get somebody in that does Corgi stuff and add all the different Corgi variations. That one would be loose, and then show the packaging, I guess, for it. So, but awesome stuff. You don't see that stuff very often, and that's the kind of stuff you get with Jeff. All right, check this out. The 64 Dodge Power Wagon. This one is, I believe, sealed. I'll leave it sealed for now until I get pictures of it. But one of the newer ones. Of course, I'm a big, truck fan, so couldn't pass up on that. Running out of room. All right, what else do we got here? These are playset exclusives, or power pavement pounders and power launchers and all that kind of stuff. Orange. You don't see this one come up very often, so that is an awesome piece. This one I didn't have, so that 5-pack has been eluding me. I still haven't found the 5-pack for a relative price, and this was relatively cheap way of getting just a Lamborghini. It's not perfect, but at least I have an example of it. This one with the gray interior, another tough one to get. So if you're looking for Camaro convertibles, you can see it's got the yellow Hot Wheels logo on the front, but that gray interior is what makes this one fairly tough to get. Again, I think it comes only in playset. Oh, check this out. I didn't even, he threw a little something extra in here. 57 Chevy. He's the man. Oh man, check that out. That is awesome. I know somebody's gonna be a little jelly of that. I'm sure he'll watch the video too. Sorry, Steve. I know this is probably one. If you don't have this, you're probably a little jelly. That's awesome. Thank you, Jeff, for the Ray Oak. I definitely didn't have that, and heck yeah. Awesome deal, man. Thank you very much. Oh, that's slick looking. 2001 Collectors Convention Newsletter 57 Chevy. There's a bunch of different variations of 57 Chevy, and I probably have over 100, but not that one, and that's a cool piece. All right. So here it is, a second Supra. So I think I had won one, and then another one came up, and of course, since I wasn't paying super close attention to everything I was putting in the package, I just went on eBay, or not eBay, I went on my website, and it said I didn't have the Mexico version, so now I have two. Both of these are on sample cards, which is kind of cool. So I guess right now I have one to stay on package and one that I can keep loose. I will lose or make loose. Look how big the plastic goes all the way up to here. Look at that. That's a lot of plastic holding that to the card. They're both that way though. The samples are. That's pretty cool. I've seen that a couple of times. I never. We'll have to figure out what that is about, and if it's only on these sample cards, or which cars had that. All right. Lots of paper in here. Don't want to throw any loose cars away. All right. Here's the next one. Table is filling up. And we got most of the box left to go. Here is a Mexico American Victory. So it was in this blown out package. So he sent me that. This thing, obviously, blister pull. But check that out. American Victory from Mexico. Chrome base. This was one of those speed machine cars, so you can see there's a lot of things happening on the base here. You got the France base with this. So, awesome piece. Another one. It's another Mexico piece. We'll put it back there with the Mexico pieces. We're up to 4 so far. And here's another one. The Dune Daddy. I got a mess to clean up down there. I'm just throwing those down to the side. The Mexico Dune Daddy. Comes with a chrome base as well. No window on these. That's going to be tough to rip. That bubble is so clear. I mean, you can see the difference in the Supra bubbles back there. And of course, the one I just showed you from the American Victory, right? Look at that. I mean, you don't get that very much. So, and it says sample on it too. Interesting. So, but it doesn't have the, oh, it does. It does have the plastic. Look, all the way up here to underneath the Mattel sign. So another sample with that. So same type of card. These all don't have the name in there. They put stickers on them. So something to pay attention to if you're a package variation collector. All right. This one doesn't have any name on here. So pull this out. And this looks like the Canadian Ford Escort. I believe that's what these shorter cards represent. So you can kind of see, I'll show you compared to even the Mexico one. You got just a little bit of size difference there. You see it's a little shorter. So I'm pretty sure that's what that denotes, is this is the Mexico, I just said it, the Canadian card. That's a good card too. So I'll check this against the variation that I have, but I got this for the package. And we'll check on variations on that, but super clean. Looks like there was a sticker somebody was able to kind of get off. You can kind of see it probably in the glare. There we go, a little bit of it picked up. Sweet. All right, next layer. We're not done. We got lots of stuff in here. I got a lot more mess to make on the floor here before we are done with this. So we're at 46 minutes in. Man, and I'm having fun. Hope you guys are having fun. Hit that like button. I know it's been a while. I'm glad you guys, hopefully you guys are coming back and watching. Because there's some awesome stuff. So here is, dang, somebody had a $10 sticker on that at one point. That would have been killer. This is a Mexico Jaguar XJS on a super clean, clear card. And see here, this one goes up only, goes up to here. That's crazy. These got, the plastic on these are all over the place. And it's rounded off, so it isn't like, you know, they just lopped it off at some point and was like, that's good enough. So, doesn't say sample on this one, but that is a variation of the Jaguar XJS that is Mexico. There's no black, so like here, if you look at this one, there's black behind the second window, right? That doesn't have, this doesn't have that. There's a variation, I think, that has that with on the Mexico variation as well. There's a super tough that I would really love to get, Ultra Hots variation, but man, those don't come up. Those usually stay, you know, between two collectors, right? One guy got a good collection, let somebody know that he's getting rid of something. So this would have been the Cannonade, but it blew out. So I'll show you the card. So that's in here somewhere. You can see here, completely blew out. So Mexico Cannonade. Oh, he put it close to it, so not too far away. Boom, Mexico Cannonade. Awesome. And what's harder than the Mexico Cannonade? A Leo one. So I still got some Leos to get. Here's that base. You see it's got that Malaysia base on it, but the color is what denotes it for the Mexico variation. There's no US one close to that. So there is another Mexico piece. We're not done. He had a bunch of Mexico stuff, and there's another Jaguar. We'll see if there's a difference on these. This package is pretty decent too. Dang. And it goes up part way. This one has, oh, this is the Racing Tampos on the hood variation. No black behind there, but here's the variation of that one. So got the moon eyes in brown and yellow, and then some hooker in green and brown. So pretty cool. Another variation of the Jaguar from Mexico. Let me know which one's your favorites, which one your favorite Mexico variation is, since we got a bunch of those. here is the Mexico Ford Escort. So a comparison of the two, one from Mexico and one from the Canada package. So again, you can see the shortness of the package on the left. Look at the color in the green or the yellow. That's quite a bit of difference of color. Very easy to distinguish that part. So I'll try to make sure that we get some of that information onto the website. Next one, this one was also, maybe this was cut or blown out. Oh no, oh, this is definitely a different, somebody tried to put a different package on this, because you can see here, you got a number down here. And this, obviously, they've cut away from it. So there's like two packages, so they tried to cover that up. So look at the car right here. So that's worthless. But this, not worthless. It didn't even have the name on there. So it's a mystery right at this point. And boom, finally got the Mexico DeLorean, or Turismo in this case. I couldn't call it the DeLorean because the thing fell through, but finally, I think I have all of the variations of the Turismo now. All right, this one blown out as well, which is all right. You can see that, boom, but it does have the name. So we got the Space Racer, or no, Space Van, what they call it. So that is the next one. One I have been after for a while. There's two variations of this, so you can kind of see this, you know, gray silverish paint with the red here. There's also one without any tampos on it. So there's another Mexico piece tracked down. And a sandwich. Anybody hungry? So much mess. All right. So this is the Mexico sandwich in red. And he did a good job of, this is another one they just repacked, so, or they'd cut off the, because that's not the piece for that, that's not the number or nothing. You can see the number 6974, not 2508619. So they took this off another card, put that on there. So we'll go ahead and it's taped. There's some tape there. So that we'll open that up, pull that out. But there we go. Check that out. I think I have all the sandwich variations from Mexico, US, and France now. I have to go check on that. Table's getting full of Mexico pieces, and I'm loving it. Hope you guys are loving it. Here is a Mexico Lickety 6, which is funny because last night on Chuck's auction, I bought my first US Lickety 6. So I had a bunch of different Mexico variations. So this one is a large wheel variation. There's a medium wheel variation. So there's also obviously the one with Real Riders and the white ones, but those are super expensive. So there's a variation of it. That one says sample, and the plastic goes all the way up to the Mattel sign on that one. So another sample. Wonder where Jeff's honey hole got all these samples from. We should talk to Cash Patel about that conspiracy about where all these possibly came from. All right, that might be all the Mexico stuff, but it may not be. I'm in the next level, and don't go anywhere because we still have a lot of awesome stuff in this box. We're only about halfway through the box, I think. Yeah, check this out. I know there's some Chevelle fans out there. So here is a Comic Con 1970 Chevelle on a Classics card. Some Real Riders with red lines. Super sweet piece. So, what we got here? I don't even remember. It's all covered up. Oh, I got this for Kearney. I think he already got one because it took me so long to get the package shipped. So if you're still interested in that, I had gotten that for you. This one does have the Tampo on the hood, so a little bit tougher variation. Pretty clean card, so I'll get pictures of the card, put that on the website. But if he's interested in that, but I think he got one, so that may be one that stays in the package. Oh, I said we were done with the Mexico pieces, but apparently I was just kidding. Here's another one. Package is been blown out the bottom, so no name on it. So we will reveal it from here. And this is a Mercedes 380 SEL in gray enamel with black base. So another Mexico piece right there. We have Collectors Convention, the 15th annual. So here is, looks like it's been opened before too. So we'll rip that out. It's got the same wheels as that Chevelle does. Kind of cool. Oh yeah. So 32 Vicky. I think I got this one for the package. This is an example of a Real Rider on the European package. Although, man, it's so funky looking. Oh, I know I got this now. I already could tell you. Boom. So my last one I bought was a fake. And I say that. You say fake. Sometimes, I mean, people make them as custom, so because they're expensive. So I don't want to say that they're always fake, but check that out. That one is looking pretty legit. The package doesn't look like it's ever been opened. Got a little crack in there. So if you're wondering where the white Baja breaker came from, here's a good example of it. So that will go on the website, and then we'll have to debate whether or not we're going to rip that one open. All right. Down to the next level. Oh, what kind of card is this? Oh, we have another Mexico piece. This one blown out. Somebody used the different, let's see if we can discern what card they use here. You can almost see part of the name. Dang, I can't. Oh, it's Cadillac Seville. So somebody cut this off of Cadillac Seville, cut this open, and then put the car back in. I guess they wanted to put it back in there. They wanted to display it loose, and then they kept the package, and then when they sold it, they put it back in there. Where's the, oh, there's the car. But large charge. There's two different variations of this Mexico one, and I believe I picked it up from Chuck last night, the second variation. So there's a difference in this where it says high voltage in the yellow. These two colors are reversed, so the high voltage would be in yellow and the inside or the outside lightning would be in purple, and then that changes the color on the 200 miles per hour, which makes it really hard to see that purple. And I think I picked up the other variation, so I think I have both of those now. And the US one has a completely different Tampo on the orange, so that's how you can tell that also. And then when they remade the 30th anniversary, they used the green, and it has that type of Tampo design on the green one, but they didn't make the remake in orange. So that's kind of what discerns the Mexico part of it. All right, back before I had bought all those other ones, I have gotten the Monster Jam with the Anglia, so got an extra one of those, although that package is probably a little bit better than the one I got. So extra. Got some race cars here that he had for cheap. A lot of this NASCAR stuff is usually kind of cheap. I haven't gone through. I probably have a bunch of extras just because when they're cheap, I go ahead and grab them. I don't have anything documented. I don't have them really in a position to keep track of them. currently. So I know when I see like different packages like these here in this 2000 package, and I hadn't seen a bunch of them, I usually grab those. Like this one here is big, you know, Tide packaging kind of craziness. And a lot of these, I'll say a lot of these, a bunch of these, or some of these, a lot or a bunch, we don't go that way. Some of these also were given out at the actual races. So that's why when I see something different, like between these two, right? Like I don't think maybe these didn't get put out at the race, but maybe this one was. So I try to pick stuff up like that. And we'll figure it out down the road. I'll do some research and find out, you know, where you can get those packaging from. Like this is a different type of packaging here. Let me get the tape off real quick. You can tell this has been sitting in somebody's garage. It's got a bunch of dust. The card's terrible on it. But there you go. Sorry, it's got 4 cards here. Getting the tape off of. All right. So here is 4 more, and those 2 look to be the same. So got some extras, but yeah, look at that card. We can probably just rip that right now. So just different things. You can see there's more of those 2000 in the top corner packaging. So more variations of that. All right, we've kind of made it to another level here. Saving one of the cool ones for last year on this one as well. So with the multi-pack stuff, I try to get all the different multi-packs, especially the ones that are a little bit larger. So here is 2 8-packs. I almost bought an extra set of these. Some of these are exclusive, I believe. Maybe all of them are exclusive colors in these packaging. So if you're looking to get all the 25th anniversary, I know that's kind of cumbersome because they made a lot of different variations. Same thing with the vintage collection. So here's a vintage collection part of it. And again, some of these are maybe exclusive colors for some of these. But you see Series 2 here and Series 1. So should be both of those. And of course, I'll check when I do my research on these specifically if there's any variations of cars within them. All right. The next thing is he had a whole bunch, I won't show all of them, of these Lee's Toy Review. So I've done some business with Lee. I used to get these when I was on the submarine. So I would take them out to sea and I would basically go to the Hot Wheels section and I'd create a database and put in all the cars that were in here and the pricing up. I'd type all of this stuff in because I had nothing better to do while you're out there for months on end, and build my own database based off of these Lee's Toy Reviews. I used to get them at a flea market down in not Pensacola, Fernandina Beach, which is still on the north side of Florida, closer to the East Coast part of it. So I would go to that guy. I ended up doing some selling for him on eBay too because he had so much stuff. In fact, this guy had, but here's another one. You see these are a buck a piece, so why not? Plus they've got, like I said, I already didn't say it yet, but I showed a picture of it, came across it, of Hot Wheels, kind of a collector market. So here's the new releases for the time frame this came out. And then you got some more collector's convention information. So, and there's usually a casting corner. Let's see if we can find it. Should be in this area here. There we go. Oh, this happens to be the Street Rotor, so I'm sure I'll get the like for just having that. But anyways, yeah, so I would go there. This guy had containers full, and I'm talking like the ones you put on like ships, the container ships, full of factory boxes of Hot Wheels from the 80s. I didn't know this was back in the early 2000s, so I didn't really know what I was looking at and the value that he had in there. But he had boxes of, you know, stuff from the 80s, 90s in there. Like he had Real Rider cases from the, you know, early 80s that were sealed. and he's like, I'll just pull another one out and put them on the pegs. And I should have got my AOK from him, because I think he had, you know, he had AOKs on the pegs at his, you know, flea market, you know, where he would sell, and he had so much stuff, you know, he's like, I went to him and I would, you know, buy, and I would talk, you know, because I was a collector, you know, back then, and you know, I was like, well, I can't afford all this stuff. He's like, well, if you sell some stuff, I'll give you a percentage of the sales, and then you'll be able to get some more stuff. And of course, I jumped right on that. That worked out really well until he started giving me stuff that wasn't Hot Wheels to sell. They were like these big pedal cars, and I didn't have any, like, I didn't have a way to ship that stuff. I didn't know where to get boxes from that were that big on, you know, that was easy to get and stuff. So I was like, kind of, and then I ended up transferring up into Connecticut. But so yeah, but he had all kinds of stuff. But that's where I used to get my Lee's Toy Review. He would have them all, so I would come and grab the Lee's Toy Review every time. I have no idea where those went too. That's kind of crazy. So here's another one, number 183, 209, 202. Somebody was like, are you getting all those? I'm like, I want to put them, I'm gonna look at them, you know. More info that somebody, you know, from a different perspective. This one hasn't even been opened. Look at this. Roy Hiley, he didn't even open his catalog, man. And then there's also stuff like this particular piece here. That's a catalog, right, from Mattel, 1987. So I'll move these kind of out of the way, give us a little bit more room. Maybe back this off. Oh, let's see here. Let's back this up. And see if we got any more space on there. Oh, too far. Showing the stand there. There we go. All right, so 1987, and in here you'll have Hot Wheels stuff once we get past all the girl toys. I don't know why they put those up front, because you know the boys probably just went right to the back. I guess that's where we're at. Still not in the Hot Wheels. Oh, got a RC car. I've never seen that stuff before. I have no idea what that is. I'm sure some of you play with this kind of stuff. I have Guts. I don't know what that is. More Guts. Kind of interesting to see the old toys. Oh, I definitely know He-Man. Power of Grayskull. Got lots of different He-Man stuff in here. Skateboard Gang. Never heard of those. Here we go. Hot Wheels. So all the way in the back, apparently, on this particular issue, they got Hot Wheels. Oh, we got some different, what are they called? Stunt Rats? Ratapult? Oh, they got different names. Yeah, that's cool. Almost getting to the Hot Wheels. There we go. Got to the Hot Wheels. So, and in these pictures, you'll see that there may be some prototypes or pre-production pieces. Like that Corvette looks just a little bit darker than normal. Everything else looks pretty legit. Oh, look at the Corvette. Let's see if I can get down here. There's no side markings on that, like silverish Corvette. Usually there's like a purple, or the international one was black, I think. So that's kind of cool. Oh, the Mustang. So the Mustang doesn't have the bottom sidelines, right, where it said Mustang with the white lines. So that's interesting. There's where that red Nomad, that's passed around on Facebook, I think a couple of times, or two of them have come up. Ooh, dang. Oh, the more you look at that 57 Chevy with black walls. That was a gold Hot Ones variation only. So the more you look, yeah, I stand corrected. There's lots of potentials on here. Here's this one right here. Check this out. So just got this in from Joe and Lori. Let's see if there's a second page. Oh yeah. Anything crazy on this page? Not seeing anything. Anything on this? Those look. Oh, check out the tail gunner. It was not that dark. And then look at the assault collar. It's like half the size. So there's some custom or pre-production or prototypes there. You can tell the tank top on the Big Bertha is a prototype. That looks like a resin piece or something that was painted over. Sweet. This is why I get this stuff, because I just love looking through here and seeing different, you know, pre-production pieces. I mean, you could definitely tell the road roller is a pre-production piece. The earth mover is definitely, looks like a resin piece with, those look like gold construction wheels. What else is there that stands out just a little bit? I'm sure there's, if you see something else, you can throw it down in the comments as well. Cargoil didn't come in that color, and no tampos. Turboa, no tampo on that one. Even the double demon there, no tampo. So look how blue the Evil Weevil is, man. So, and then look at the Zombot. The small wheels are at the feet instead of at the head, and you can kind of see the difference there. The small wheels on that Phantom machine, which looks like a production or a pre-production piece, is at the head. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Then you got your Shark Cruiser, that looks like a pre-production. Man, see, I love looking at this stuff. And we got more. We're not even done. Hey, we've got the Body Swappers gift pack showing all three of those. Got some crack ups. This is that 4-pack Smash and Tow gift set, which we just got. I know this comes in the pack as well, but single pack as well. But there's the one of those crack ups. Let's see if there's any. I'm not seeing. That's 31 doozies, pretty dark. Maybe that's a prototype. So there you go. There's the 1987. I think that's everything. And then you got the playset with the speed trigger with the Nissan 300ZX. You've got the Leaping Demons. That'd be cool. I don't have either one of these sets yet with the double demon on it. Oh, we weren't done. We got more. We got the XV stuff. You got the flip outs. Looks like all the flip outs are here. Even the white one. That's nice. In place of the black. So they don't have both variations of that. They got both variations of the other ones. But yeah, they didn't put the black one on there. So they put the, I think that's a Canadian or international only one. Then you got your crack ups. So I don't know if Tom Miles, see the one that collects these? I think some, oh man, I'm blanking on the name, dang it. But there's a guy out there that collects solely, well, I say solely, pretty much just anything crack up. So here's a 1987 book, Mattel catalog. You got your play sets. So the cargo carrier, the fix and fill. This is one I had as a kid and would carry around. Somebody stole it and painted it with a spray paint black. And I got it back, and I think I still have it. But I'd carry all my cars inside the top here, and we'd play in the dirt and stuff when I was a kid in Fowler, Kansas, if you guys can find that. Really small town with no stoplights at the time, and brick road down Main Street and sand roads on the side streets. So we got more. Oh yeah, there's where your turbo glow cars come from. So there's the Ferrari Testarossa, although that has a black base. I don't think it came with a black base. And there's your Camaro. So the tampos on these glow in the dark. And you can see the mechanism that slings them around the track. Hopefully not crashing into each other. And they've got extra track for the super turbo tracks. There is one of the railroad sets. Another one. I haven't gone after the railroad stuff yet. Got a couple pieces, and then we get into Captain Power. I'm not even sure what that is. So that's one. So that's 1987. I have another one here, and while we're having fun at it, here's 1981. So a year after I was born. Let's see what we got here. All your girly stuff's up front again. So common theme on that apparently. Getting into the boy stuff here. Play school. There we go. Yeah. Let's see. Any prototype stuff on these pictures? These look pretty legit. Oh man. Check out the Vetti Funny in the gray. So they got the tough variation there for that one, which is, oh no, I don't have that sitting up here, do I? I thought I had it sitting here. Anything else? I don't see anything standing out, but all these look like regular production pieces at this point. And you got, look at that. Look at that kid with his little guide, his cases. Got some of the bigger trucks over there with his turbo Mustang. Could have been me. Could have been you. If you're born in the 80s like I was. What we got here? Nothing standing out on this one as well. They're showing off the Heroes stuff here. Showing you can see inside some of those Scene Machines. Got more. So there's the cases, new for 81. The 12 and 24 car cases and the Super Rally case. Machine packs, 1981. There's a couple different, it says pack 12. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see. That looks like a prototype. Look how blue those windows are. I think that's the prototype. Not seeing, oh, the Omni. That looks like a prototype. Look at those windows as well. So that's probably the resin one. Even the camper mini Trek. Look at the windows on that. And the, I guess all these almost, huh? Could be some prototypes. Got steering rigs that came out. So there's 6 of them right there. And then you got your flying Bronco. And you see that Bronco, although that's more probably a drawn Bronco with the windows and everything. You got Wipeout with the Mustang and the Corvette. So those were 2 cars that make it. Probably made a few more extra of those with all the Wipeout sets. Crisscross Crash. The sad ending to many of the flat out 442s and Torinos. Look at that City Stow and Go set. Awesome cars on there. Another turbo Mustangs up front. Old number 5, 57 T-Bird, all kinds of stuff on that. I got some better pictures or close-up pictures on there. They were able to put 2 together. That's kind of cool. I got it on blocks back there for that picture. And we got the service center, I think was what they were showing. Oh, here's the Scorchers. So here are a bunch of the different Exploder. I've never seen the Exploder. Is that a prototype? I haven't gone through some of these. I've never seen some of these. I've seen the Porsche. I've seen that, seen those. I don't think I've seen this. Check that out. That might be a prototype. I know the 57 or 55 Chevys are tough. There's this blue one here. Man. And that's looks like it for Hot Wheels stuff anyway. Any more? I got a couple more of the. This one's not even open. So, toy review. So there's another one of those. 205, 203. I know somebody was asking about some of these. So if I have extras and you're looking for, I think that's an extra right there. We could work out a deal on those. Maybe just pay for the shipping or something. But there you go. So I will do a separate video since this one is over an hour long already. But I'm pretty sure this is a fake, judging by what the rivets look like. I'll also contact Lori and Joe about it. So that's unfortunate. So I still have one legit one, although some people would disagree with that, but they can disagree all they want. I've, looked at the inner post. I've done, some tests on it, and it appears to the best of my ability and, without breaking it open, that it's legit. But this one is not. This one is fake, and once I can get it open, I will show you guys what they have done on that. So there you go. Huge mail call, hour and 20 minutes at this point going through everything. I won't go through all of it again, but I'm going to try to get some time, get pictures of a bunch of this Mexico stuff for sure onto the website. So look forward to that. And if you want to see something specifically, let me know. I know it's been kind of strapped for time, but I will try to do my best to keep up with some more video content and get stuff on the website and on Facebook. I've been kind of vacant on there too. So, but I appreciate you guys sticking with me if you're watching the video. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Jeff, especially for the 57 Chevy Rayoke. Thank you. I think it goes by Walter. So thank you, Walter, for the DMC DeLorean. If you want this, you can probably have it because I'm sure Lori and Joe aren't going to want it back. But it is fake, so you probably don't want it. But if you did, to get it out of my hands, I'll let you have that if you want it. Until you find a real one, because I believe they're out there. Despite, I will show this when I do the video for this as well on what they've done to clear off the tampos for that. Yeah, so tons of awesome stuff. My table is full. My floor is trashed. So I got some cleanup, and then I'm gonna go check the weather, see what it's doing, because I still got some work to do outside. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. Worth the wait, I hope, for some of you on the Jeff Drew box. It certainly was for me, and I've already started getting more stuff from him, so he's already starting a new box. But that's kind of how it goes. But Jeff's awesome, so check out Jeffro Diecast 2 on there. Check out Toy Headquarters for Chuck stuff. He has lots of amazing stuff. Another person I get stuff from is Lori and Joe Finsky. They do Friday night Blackwall stuff, and sometime on the weekend some Red Lines. So get on there and look for them as well. They have awesome stuff. So yeah, there you go. There is everything I got in. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, because I do all my mail calls on video, and I try to do casting and all kinds of other content as well when I have time. So, but thanks for watching, and thanks everybody out there. Thanks Chuck, Joe, Lori, Joe again, Jeff. Did I say Jeff? Chuck, Jeff, Lori, and Joe. There we go. And Walter. And yeah, so there it is. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye.